Hello and welcome to Let's Play 2 2013. This is 2K, and this is TNA episode, I'm gonna go with 60. Pretty sure it's 60. This is gonna be a recap episode, trying to get everyone caught up on 59 episodes of TNA. It's not gonna be all of the episodes, obviously, but just trying to get people caught up so that we could move forward with people having a bit more knowledge. As I realize there's been a lot, and then we get a lot of the new subscribers, so I want people to be caught up. The main crux of this TNA save so far has been Samoa Joe's reign as TNA Heavyweight Champion. He has been a heel, and been aligned with Paul Heyman, who is my user character, and that was the flashpoint for this alternate universe was Paul Heyman joining TNA. So TNA gets a bit of momentum from that, and they've been riding it ever since. So Joe beat AJ Styles at Final Resolution 2013 and has held the title for 8 months now. 8 months. I don't believe he has lost once in that time, and if he has, it's been in a tag match. He's never lost one-on-one. His stable is the TNA Originals of him, Heyman, Beer Money, Gruden, Storm, and newly added AJ Styles. Or TNA Legacy. Ooh. So we're going to actually add AJ now. And that group has been ruling the roost, essentially, since the beginning of this LP. Some faces have come in to try and take Joe down. We signed Batista, who had a shot at him and did not get it. We were able to take Tyler Black from WWE, which was a huge steal. He had his shot at Samoa Joe, and he did not get it done. Currently, I believe Tyler Black is feuding with former Shield member TEW, which is Samoan per Google Translate for the Big Dog. So, the Big Dog versus Tyler Black. And that's it for that, really. I mean, rounding out our main eventers are Shelton Benjamin, who's been doing amazing. He had a big feud with Kenny King. He tagged with King until that didn't work out, and he's risen to the top of TNA now, and unfortunately he's a heel, so it's going to be hard for me to position him anyway but a jobber to the faces who need to be brought up for Joe, but that's good. And someone else who I've been really protecting, he went by Killer Steel for a long time, but that name's dumb. That name's real dumb. So I switched it to Killer Steen, and he is in a tag team, the Killers, with Brody Lee, who goes by Killer Lee. And they murder people. Steen has probably been the biggest star made by TNA in these 7 months. Where he went from, I believe, mid-carder to legitimate main eventer real quick. So, in the upper mid-card is a lot of familiar faces. You got AJ Styles, who just recently turned heel and joined TNA Legacy after fighting them for 6 months. He went with, if you can't beat him, join him, and he ended up joining. Austin Aries is continuing to fight against the Originals. Bully Ray just finished a storyline where he created the Bully Club, which I believe was him and the Young Bucks, to take on AJ Styles, Carl Anderson, and I think I forgot who else, but someone else from the Bullet Club. So it was Bullet Club versus Bully Club. And that was a fun little feud, even though it made no sense in universe. It was just something for me to have a bit of fun with. And Bully is set to turn face, and probably will get a shot at Samoa Joe before he rides off into the sunset. Christopher Daniels Just a face who's been doing fairly well. He got turned on by Kazarian, and it was feuding with him, and he produces well, but I don't really have much storyline for him. Jeff Hardy is a face, but his momentum's in the toilet, as he is just lost again and again to Samoa Joe. He's been doing a lot of jobbing, unfortunately. So his usefulness is starting to deteriorate. Kenny King, he's feuding with Shelton, has gotten him to the upper mid-card. I was hoping it would bring him to the main event, not Shelton, but Shelton was the one that got there. I have ideas of how I'm going to move forward with him. Eventually, I want to see a King versus Joe pay-per-view, to be honest. Clearly, we win over, and MVP has just been a jobber to the stars so far. Moving on to our mid-card. A lot of people who you've probably seen before. Shelly, who has been feuding with Sabin basically the entire time, and now Sabin's going to be turning and teaming with Shelly. Spoilers, I don't know if I've mentioned that yet. We got Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly for Red Dragon, who are in our tag division. We got the Wolves, who are our current tag champions. They defeated Beer Money, I believe, recently. The Young Bucks are also in our tag division. Our current X Division champion is John Thriller. That's also a really bad name, but I'm keeping it. Johnny Mundo, John Morrison, John Hennigan, and whatever you want to call him. He's been all right. I think he just won it recently, but there's other guys I want to have in the X Division to carry it. He's there to be the cornerstone as I build up the other guys. Manic, who I'm not trying to keep this a secret. Manic is Kazarian, guys. And he's just there because Kazarian lost a Loser Leaves Town match to Daniels. So now Kazarian is wrestling under Manic and will be providing another good hand to the X Division. Matt Taven, speaking of good hands for the X Division, Matt Taven is here. He was Manic, but he got too over too quick, so I took the mask off him, and now he's just wrestling as Matt Taven. And Robbie E is still hanging on, even though I don't really use him. He's still in the mid-card. Can still pull a good X Division match out. Lower card, these are all our projects now. We got ACH, who is one of our projects. Johnny Gargano, who is one of our projects. Carl Anderson, who is on loan, and now is just going to be jobbing his way out of the company, unfortunately. Magnus, who I am just kind of jobbing until he leaves the company. Not a big Magnus fan, guys. Sorry. Uha Nation, who is just recently signed and will be moving up the card pretty quick, I think. He's real good. He's a real good wrestler. And Zima Ion, who is a X Division jobber at this point, but could become something. He's only 27. But right now his usefulness is losing to some of our projects. Speaking of projects, here's 3 projects right here. Chuck Taylor, Kenny Omega, and Kota Ibushi. So, out of all our projects, so far, Gargano has been the most successful as he had a run with the X Division title. Kota was just signed, and I want to build his overness in America. Omega is one of my favorite wrestlers. If you watch my New Japan series with Swarley, you'll know that I have a soft spot for Kenny, and I want him to succeed at everything. So I'm going to try and be pushing him. And we also got TJP, who was originally Manic, and I unmasked him thinking that he would be pushed up the card in the same way Taven was, but it has not been the case. Other people have been pushed up before him, mainly due to me not booking well for him. And enhancement talents, we got the Von Erichs and Ricochet, who just signed and needs some overness, so I wouldn't say that's indicative of how I'm going to be treating Ricochet. Our women's division, or let's go to occasional wrestlers. Sting. Sting is a commentator now. He's not wrestling at this current time. Our women's division, pretty good so far. Not great. I could do a lot better. We got Awesome Kong, Beth Phoenix, Brooke is a holdover, Gabby is a jobber. Kim is the champion and has been for quite a while. She has a sort of a loose alignment with Heyman, so she's kind of in the TNA Legacy group. I brought in Hamada, who has lost to Gale quite a bit, unfortunately. Lufisto was just brought in. Mia Yim. Terrell is a carryover. Veda Sky is another jobber. And Velvet Sky is another carryover. Before I go in... Oh, I can't. Okay. So, storylines. What we are currently doing right now. We're doing Tyler Black and AJ Styles. I'm sorry. So, the Big Dog in Black storyline hasn't started yet. So, AJ shocked the world, and he turned on Tyler Black during Tyler Black's title shot. So that is what's making this feud go. Bully Ray and Kenny King. This one will probably be over very shortly. Austin Aries needs a friend, as the Killers are double teaming him. This TEW versus Batista feud is going on forever. Big Dog versus the Animal. John Thriller and Samoa Joe. Destination X is coming up, so Thriller is going to give up the X Division title, which is pretty good. I'm happy that I'm doing that. And because I can't see Mundo losing to anyone, but I don't want him to hold that title anymore. He's also going to get a shot at Samoa Joe at Destination X. And we have the X Division tournament with all of these guys here. Shelly, Fish, Sabin, Gargano, Omega, O'Reilly, and the Young Bucks. Veda Scott's getting a quick feud with Gail Kim. She's not gonna win. And the Wolves versus Beer Money. So that's the storylines we got going now. Next show will be an actual show, but if you have any questions on like what the world is like in this realm, what past events have led to what things, just let me know, and I'll try and explain it in the comments. But thanks for watching. Have a good one.